Hello everyone, this is Tip Top Gaming here today with another Magic the Gathering news video. Now today we are going to be talking about Commander in 2020 and what new is coming. Now, there is a ton. So this was officially announced on the Command Zone where they talked about a lot of different things, but I'm going to break it all down for you in a quick video. Alrighty, so they basically said, Commander's great, it introduces new players, and so we want to give it more than one product per year, or two if you count the Brawl products, because you know that's the only people who bought it. So basically, there's lots of people who want to play Commanders, players need reprints, and people are learning through Commander. So then, yes, the Command Zone did this, but I'm going to quickly bring it down. Every year, we come out with our series of Commander pre-constructed decks. Those aren't going anywhere, and in fact, next year you'll get them even sooner. So instead of them being their own release, they're going to be released with, Ikoria. So that'll be April 24th. So imagine the War of the Spark. If it, instead of being released when it was released with War of the Spark. And that's kind of because what they said is they wanted some of the decks to be kind of tied to Ikoria. So they're the same power levels as the year past, and all the cards are legal in all Eternal formats, and they weren't built with Standard in mind. However, what they kind of said was, sometimes they do these cool mechanics in sets that would be cool Commander decks, but because they're only in one set, you really can't do that. And so they were like, what if we allowed you to do that? So basically, let's say Ikoria has the mechanic of, I don't know, a mass. It's not going to, but let's imagine that. Instead, so maybe one of the decks is based on a mass, and they add new cards that are not standard legal. They add those into the deck to make a mass a more commanderable mechanic. And since it's tied to the standard set, that means your new cards that you're getting from the standard packs can be used in Commander easier. And some of the new cards from Ikoria can also make their way into the Commander precons. And you get them earlier, so that's kind of cool. Another announcement, I don't know if they're going to say this, but there's also going to be 5 decks instead of 4, which the reason they switched from 5 to 4 originally was because in order to buy them through distribution, stores would have to buy all 5, and so if there's only one that sold really well, at least now you're only buying 3 that aren't selling as well, but now you're going to have to sell 4 again. There'll be 71 new cards that are not found in draft boosters. Now, what I'm really hoping is that when Ikoria comes around, the numbers for these for the cards inside of the boosters are not like part of the numbering system, the collector numbers, because that would be confusing. There are a handful of cards from Ikoria in the reprint slots, but the number is fairly small. Those cards are mostly just there to make a couple of themes work. Imagine if Kaladesh had done this, if we had an Energy Commander deck. There you go. These decks are plast to play and feel like Commander. These replace the Planeswalker decks for Ikoria. So there will not be Planeswalker decks for Ikoria. Confirmed here. So no Planeswalker decks. Sorry if you like them. Though they are nothing like Planeswalker decks. Their expansion codes is C20. So they will not be part of the Theros Beyond Death or the Ikoria thing. So we are getting less Planeswalker decks, which I don't think anyone is complaining about. Then Zendikar Rising. So far, we've always done what they call traditional Commander decks. Big box, oversized cards in the Biodome, where all 4 or 5 decks are meant to play against one another. With Zendikar Rising, we'll be introducing a new type of Commander deck. It's a great time to be a Commander player. That means every time of the year should be a great time for a Commander player. If you want to join Commander 6 months after the traditional pre-con decks, there should be something for you to check out. With Zendikar Rising, which is Q4 of 2020, so that's like a year from now. Basically, Throne of Eldraine, but of next year. With the these are meant to be. We are launching 2 new decks, so there'll be 2 new Commander decks, and they're meant to be awesome on ramp to Commander decks with a few new cards, 3 per deck. So there'll be only 3 new cards, and the rest will be reprints. So that'll allow for more reprints to be reprinted, full of the things you want to kickstart your Commander experience. Like Ikoria Commander, these new cards are themed to work and represent, and can be from anywhere. So they don't have to be Ikoria themed or Zendikar themed. They can be from any time period, any place. Whether you're new to Commander or looking to get staples, or a veteran looking for a few reprints and some exciting cards, there should be something to catch your eye in this. Their expansion code is ZNC, which Zendikar Commander. They also replace the Planeswalker decks. There'll only be 2 sets of Planeswalker decks per year, one with core sets, which have a lot more, and one with the other sets. So that would be Theros Beyond Death for this next year. They come in a box that looks more like Brawl deck boxes and will release alongside Zendikar Rising. So they won't have all the fluff, quote-unquote, in them. And it looks like they're not doing Brawl decks next year. If they're doing both of these, maybe they realized, oh, this is just Commander that wants this. But who knows. Why do we use these instead of Planeswalker decks? Well, I talked earlier about how Commander is an early point for a lot of players. So, that's also what the Planeswalker decks did. So there are also some pre-constructed deck. Why don't we look at a new product? So, Commander Collection Green. Coming later in 2020, I believe they said Q3, there's something that Commander players you'll only be able to find in WPN stores, and that's the Commander Collection. By the way, that's something I just read here. WPN stores are your local gaming stores instead of being at things like Walmart, Target, and Amazon. Although you will still be able to buy them from Amazon from local game stores that sell on Amazon. These are 8 reprint cards in a box themed to a color. For the first one, we've selected green, the color of ramp, big creatures, and all kinds of things you'll probably love if you play Commander. There's all new art for the cards, and one of my favorite parts is that many of the cards reference popular legends. For example, check out this piece of art. Before we do that, I'm going to talk about it a little more. Basically, this is the signature spellbooks, but for Commander cards and in a specific color. So they'll probably be all 5 colors, maybe a colorless, and maybe a multicolor. Basically, that's it. And then there are these arts. Now, this is a popular character. I can't think of his name. However, they confirmed it is not this character. It is the spell he is casting. Yeeson, yeah. And we have this piece of art, which is kind of based around the Azura. Yeah, this is what they talked about. Azura. The headpiece of that, so that's kind of here. So that gives you a little hint. These are all reprints with different art. So there'll be a premium and a regular edition. Wow, they didn't talk about a lot of stuff. So there are a lot of new details here. So if you've seen the Command Zone, there's apparently stuff here that wasn't announced there. All WPN stores will get the regular edition, which contains all 8 cards in non-foil. WPN premium stores will also get a blinged out premium version, which includes all the cards in foil. I think that's kind of dumb. If your local game store isn't big enough, you just can't get the premium version is what that means, and I think that is incredibly stupid. So whether you want them in foil or non-foil, there's a version of this product for you. Its expansion code is CC1, which definitely implies there's possibilities of future ones. Now, I know that's a lot, but we're far from done. By the way, also, there could be technically, instead of multicolored Commander Collection, like Dimir. Sorry. Now that we're thrilled to talk about Commander Legends. It's a full set for Commander players. It's Draft meets Commander. It's over 70 brand new Legends. So there are 70 brand new cards. So this is the Modern Horizons next year. Instead, it's Commander Horizons, which is probably what I named this video. And it's awesome. Now, they did confirm a couple things. I'm going to see if they talk about them here. But there are going to be 70 new Commanders. Because if they're planning for you to draft Commander, well, then you have to make sure you get a Legend. Can you imagine not getting a Legend? That'd be kind of weird. Also, there's probably going to need to be a high amount of cards, maybe higher than normal because it's singleton, and 100 cards, so we'll see. But I've always wanted to draft Commander, but there's a lot of logistical trickiness there. Fortunately, after plenty of work, we cracked that nut with Commander Legends. It's fantastic to sit down, draft, build a Commander deck right then and there, and then play. Plus, at the end, you'll have a great inspiration for what to do for your Commander decks. Commander Legends has 20 card packs, so instead of 15, it's 20, with foil and 2 legendary creatures in every single pack. So every pack will have 2 legendaries and a foil, which that means that this pack is going to be expensive, saying it's 5 more cards, 2 legendaries, and a foil. These cards can be played from anywhere in space and time in the multiverse and are legal in eternal formats such as Legacy, Vintage, and Commander, so they're not legal in Modern. It is a larger than normal set, like I predicted it would be, with often asked for Commander reprints and new cards alike. So it does have reprints of cards already legal in Commander, unlike Modern Horizons, which did not have any cards that were already legal in Modern in it. There are tons of beloved planes and characters represented. Normally, we don't show you something that's a year off, but with 70 new Legends, I think we can give you a taste. So this one, I'm forgetting the name. Oh my god, it's some vampire dude who everyone was like, oh my god! So if you're excited for him, you probably know who he is. I believe he was like Dracuseth. I think that was his name. Then we have this lady, who, they are kind of changing things here. On the original one, it is a Planeswalker-styled art where it's vertical. So that means that there are, and they did confirm that there are planeswalkers sprinkled in throughout as well. And this is a character returning. They said, if you can figure it out, good for you. They're not telling you who it is. Then, it also comes with 2 commander decks of its own. These are very similar in philosophy to the ones we're watching for Zendikar Rising, though the decks themselves are plenty different. They each feature new cards not found in draft, boosters, and they rest the rest as reprints. The expansion code is CMC. Converted Mana Cost. Sorry. Commander Master Commander. This way, if you're starting with Commander Legends and don't have a deck, well, you can grab one of these and hop into the action. So that means there are going to be 3 sets of precons next year. A Signature Spellbook Commander and a full-fledged set for next year. That's a great time to be a Commander player, as it says below. I'll be doing reviews of all the cards coming out for all of these. I assume this will can't come out in the same time as Modern Horizons, although that I don't know. They might change it because I'd like to remind you that if there is one coming out with Ikoria, so that's War of the Spark, then here's what it's looking like next year. Now, I'm going to actually just I'm going to talk while going through this. They have a little timeline in here. So Commander Legends, there's the logo. But basically, I'm going to do a video talking about all the products we know about coming out next year sometime soon. Okay, so we can see here that we have a new Commander product coming out with Ikoria on April 24th. Then we have, in quarter 3, the Zendikar Rising, so that's apparently quarter 3. Then we have, again in quarter 3, the Commander Green, and then in quarter 4, Commander Legend. So they did do that here. So instead of it being like Modern Horizons in the first quarter or second quarter, it is actually in the fourth quarter. Now, I thought they announced that quarter 4 was going to be Zendikar. I believe in the original timeline, they said it was going to be Zendikar. So it's very interesting to see them kind of shift that back, maybe? I thought yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, that is it for this video. There was a lot to talk about. We have new set symbols here. It's crazy. So also, by the way, mention these no longer have the normal like shield icon. I believe this is a mix of both actually, which is kind of interesting. So yeah, here are all the new icons, blah, blah, blah. This is really cool. If you guys didn't see my video I posted earlier today talking about Theros Beyond Death cards that were released, you guys should check that out. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!